So it's official. The Canadiens are in the NHL playoffs. So nobody can say Marc Bergevin has missed the playoffs 3 years in a row and 4 of the last 5. One of 24 teams, the 12th seed. And as a result, they get to meet Sidney Crosby and the Pittsburgh Penguins in the first round, which will be a best-of-5 series. That works in the Canadiens' favor, I believe, because with a goalie like Carey Price in a short series, if he can stand on his head and win a couple of games, anything can happen. You look at the NHL playoffs, one of the things that makes them so exciting is the unpredictability. Last year, who would have thought the Columbus Blue Jackets would sweep the Tampa Bay Lightning, by far the best team during the regular season, during the first round? That happened. The downside, of course, would be the Canadiens losing much of their chance or hopes of landing the number 1 pick at next year's draft, or this year's draft, I should say. Alexis Lafreniere, the big star coming out. If the Canadiens win the first round series, they basically have no hope at all of getting the number 1 pick. If they lose, their odds, I believe, are around 6% or something like that. But in the big picture, I don't think there's a negative with the Canadiens making it into the playoffs. I think with a young team like them, the experience of playing in the playoffs, if they can actually win a round, the excitement that would be around the city, around the team, the experience they would gain, and as Marc Bergevin likes to say, get into the playoffs and anything can happen. Nobody expected the Canadiens to be in the playoffs this season. They are in the playoffs and anything can happen. One of the big questions with this playoff coming up is by the time the players actually start playing, it's going to be more than 3 months since they played a hockey game. They haven't skated in a long time since the league was shut down from COVID. So guys are going to be out of shape. There's no doubt about that. They haven't skated. This is probably the longest they've gone without skating since they were about 5 or 6 years old. You worry about injuries. You worry about groin pulls. You worry about ththings like that. There's going to be no preseason games. They're just going to show up, have a short training camp, and go right into the heat of playoff battle. So I think injuries are going to happen. I think the level of play is going to be sloppy. Guys are going to be, their hands are, you don't get the hands back right away. And as I said, injuries are going to be a big thing. So I think we're looking at sloppy hockey. And for those of you watching at home on TV, since there won't be anybody in the stands, I think that's going to be really strange, watching a hockey game on TV with no reaction from the crowd. I think it's going to be really bizarre. And I wonder what the TV ratings might be, just because it's going to be August. Beautiful weather, a day like today, are you going to want to be inside watching hockey? And I think it's going to lose a lot of its theater on television, even without having anybody in the stand and no fan reaction after a goal, things like that. So it's going to be weird, but these are weird times. And again, I'll believe it when I see it, when the hockey games actually start. There's still a lot of hurdles for the Canadiens and the NHL in general to get over before that happens. For hockey fans, let's hope it does. But again, there's no guarantees yet, and this is a different world, and it's going to be a different NHL playoffs. Will there be an asterisk beside the Stanley Cup champion? Maybe, but I mean, if you win 4 rounds in the playoffs and 16 games to get there, I think you deserve to be Stanley Cup champions.